Hey guys, Dusty underscore here. This is one of my, I think this is only the third or fourth YouTube video I've ever done. But I love technology and I'm a big nerd with cameras, all new stuff. And I got the Nikon D850, all the latest stuff. I also love old cameras. So one of the things that's I've always wanted, ever since I learned about it, was a Hasselblad, like a 500cm or 500C. Nerd information, right? Ding. But as you find a camera, one of the things is, the modular nature of the system is great. However, sometimes you have this thing called a light leak, which most of you, if you're watching this, you want to know how to replace the light foam seals. There's different ways you can do it. I found a way. I've already done one on this back right here that worked out really well. I'll pull the dark slide out and show you. This is basically a 220 back, which is A24, I believe, that takes, that takes 20, can do up to 24 exposures. It's hard to get, near next to impossible to get 220 film, but whatever. If you look here, I'm not sure if I can show you from me not seeing the viewfinder of what I'm recording, but basically you'll have a light foam seal right here, and it looks pretty good because I just replaced it. So I'm going to show you a couple of things about Hasselblad, because I'm absolutely in love with several cameras, but primarily my love lately has been the Hasselblad 500cm, and I'm going to show you how to replace the foam seals. So there's a piece of Mylar. Okay, looks like this. It's kind of slick on one side, and it sometimes has a textured coating on the other end, and then there's a piece of foam. And we're going to get to the guts of our 120 film, which is on my CM. This particular one is an A12 back, as you can see right there, hopefully, which is 12 exposures, and that's probably more common for you guys to find that. So obviously the dark slide's in, so the dark slide is in, so it will be able to dismount. Again, I love the modular system here. So what you're going to do is dismount your Hasselblad body. Shout out to US Camera Pro, by the way, for supplying me some of this gear. One being a lens and another being a viewfinder, which I absolutely love, this prism. But anyway, we'll go into that some other time. We have this A12 back. Hopefully you can see it pretty good, right? And you have the dark slide here. What you're going to do is go ahead and take out the dark slide. Set it aside. And what's really cool and not cool at the same time is I had light leaks, and I was like, what the heck? And if this back's been through a lot, but it's nostalgic. It's a character. So if you look here, I don't know if you can see it, but basically you don't even see a foam seal. So I'm not even sure, to be honest, once I take all 9 screws, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Once I take all 9 screws out, if there's even a seal that hasn't completely disintegrated. So let's go ahead and do that. And the first thing you're going to want to do is at the top right, you're going to have a slotted screw. Now you can get a special screwdriver kit, but I'm too cheap to do that right now, so I'm just going to be extra careful with this quote-unquote certain brand name screwdriver kit, which is not sponsoring us yet, so hey. So I'm going to take these screws out one by one, working from the top right to the top left, being very careful because some of the stuff on this camera, you can't just go to like a convenience store and have it replaced. It's very specific. So you're going to want to take your time. So I'm going to go ahead and, oops. I'm not applying much pressure at all because I don't want anything stripped. And you should get, I think it's called a JIS. I can't remember, but it's like a, I believe it originates, it's like a Japanese standard for screwdrivers. I don't have a link to it or anything. Maybe I should do that and invest in a set. But for right now, I just want to replace my light seals. And I'll go over the cost and where you can do that, or if you want to do it on your own at the end of the video. I'll try to put some links and stuff. Because some of it's like the learning process. It's fun, It's like satisfying when you've done the repair yourself. It's not just a money thing. It's like, you can spend $5 or $10 or $15 on something, or nothing really, if you have access to some of the artistic materials to do it. And it can be very rewarding when you fix your own stuff. And I've got like old typewriters and things like that that I occasionally, when I have time, like to tinker with. And I'm sure you guys are very similar with things. You're hands-on. While we're doing this, we'll talk about Hasselblad. What's also cool, and I'm going to have hopefully more videos to come about this particular Hasselblad series, because a lot of the tips and stuff and cleaning techniques I'll give you, I've learned over the years from either technicians or manuals or old service field guides, things like that. or just suggestions from people like you. Oops, well, I didn't fill anything important, except for the dark slide. Okay, so, you know, this plate, I don't want to call it a pressure plate. I'll be honest, I don't know what this plate is called, but it's very important to be careful and be gingerly approach this, because there are some mechanisms here that you won't mess up, but you just got to be aware. Okay, the big reveal. You don't want it to fling off. Okay, so take that plate off, and you basically want to avoid touching any of this area down here. And, you know, part of you, if you're like me, want to start servicing gears and oiling it. Don't mess with it. Check your light seal. If you had light leaks, this is probably why. This is pretty nasty looking foam seal. Okay, so we're going to peel that up. Oh my gosh, that's awful. And I'm trying to be very careful. Take my time. As I get older, I'm getting a little more jittery. Oh, good Lord. Come on, Dusty. You can do it. Okay, so look at that. Disgusting. And there's nothing on top of this foam. And let's see if I have this. I'll show you from the 220 back. I kept the original so you could see. It's supposed to have two pieces. This Mylar sheath, that the foam itself, right, that goes in this way. Boom. This is the old one from the other back. And then you have this particular Mylar that when you put it in folds over. And when the plate goes back on top, it applies pressure to the foam and you have a nice seal. But look how thin that is too. So this foam is, look at that. Dun, dun, dun. It's huge, Mondo. So you're going to put this foam like so. This is where it gets a little dicey. But before you do that, I should have put the Mylar sheath underneath it, so it kind of folds over. Now it's hard to fold over. This is the tricky part because it's so much thicker, but it provides a better seal. So there's different ways that people suggest to do this. One of the ways you can do it is you can hold down with the dark slide, you can hold down the foam without messing with the functions at the bottom. See what I'm doing there? You can do it your way, but I'm just going to do it my way. I'm kind of being lazy. Fold it over. That was pretty easy. All right, that was easy. Cheap plug there. And then I'm going to gingerly apply pressure with that plate. I'm not doing the best job here. Hang on. I'm trying to avoid touching the bottom of the back. You just got to be really careful with that bottom part because that spring goes flying. Good luck finding that in your carpet. Okay, that's pretty good. Now what I failed to mention is when you do this, you typically want to have the dark slide partially in. So let's see if it'll let me push it in a little bit. Yeah. After the fact, I'm no official technician. I'm going to push it in until you feel it recede. And again, there's different theories on which screws you put back in. You do it how you want to do it. You can research it more if you want. But I am going to make sure that it's seated real well. And I'm going to put my bottom right, kind of the reverse order, in first. Just be very gingerly approach it. And to not cross thread, you can countersink it kind of a thing, however you say it. Go lefty, loosey, and righty tighty. So go left on purpose so that you can kind of seat the screw in until it finds its natural groove, and then you go to the right. I won't tell you the name brand of this. You can probably guess by the blue. They're like $8 or $9 at a particular hardware store, and I'm not getting paid to say that. I don't tighten them all the way though. I like it. I am too cheap to buy the battery to put the light on, but this has a light that will emit if you have a battery in it, and it has a magnetic tip, which is frustrating right now. Oh my gosh. I actually have foam, Jackson. Jackson's my son. He's my producer for this video. So can you see, Jackson, my audience see the foam? Yes. Beautiful. No more light leaks, bro. And contrary to popular belief, I believe this is about the only way that you can have a light leak. I'm sure there's other ways you can do it, but this is usually the culprit. And you brought that back to life. Now, I'm going to end it with showing you these beautiful backs. I also have some tips. You'll notice there's some blemishes here. And this one I've cleaned up. I used some chrome polisher for automobiles on the chrome itself, and it helps. I still have to fix some of the things. The leatherette is coming apart. I need to reglue it. I'm going to do that. I didn't find a lot online that gave me really cool tips that I got excited about. But I used to work at a place called Victor Duncan's, which is Panavision Dallas now. And we dealt with all sorts of ancient stuff and new stuff, very expensive stuff. So I would never advise you to use something that would degrade the quality of anything you have, nostalgic or not. But I had some wax polish that I put on here that's all natural. And I'll show you that in another video. And I used a heater, heat gun, or in this case a hair dryer for my wife, and just kind of coats it on there, melts the wax just enough so you can work with it, and then you can really buff it up. And what's great about that is it's not, can you hear it? On the mic here. It's not greasy, it doesn't leave a residue, and it's natural, and it protects it, but it also, more than protection, it nourishes the leather. So maybe putting a few coats on that for your objects will help you. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for Jackson Parrish for doing his part. I will mention one more thing. And give a shout out to this guy, Dick Werner from Burbank, California. Hide my address in his. Boom. It's like between 10 and 15 bucks for what you just saw, and he gives you awesome directions. I don't want to show you all the stuff because I think he's copyrighted or something, but I would like to thank him for shipping me at the cost of under 15 bucks, those two pieces. It just seems like that's a lot for two pieces, but he's makes a good product, and I recommend it. And I don't get anything from saying that other than helping somebody out that's helping us bring these things back to life. You can get the foam and the Mylar if you want to research that, or shoot me a text or an email, excuse me, or hit me up on a comment and ask, and I should probably be able to find out where is procured from. But just make sure you cut it. Keep the old ones and mark them old or something. So if you start making your own in greater quantity, you can make your own and save some money too. But Dick's a good guy. He recommends in his instructions to also replace it once a year. It depends on how much you shoot, in my opinion, and what kind of condition you're keeping your camera in. Is it like in a humidor? You know, you might want to fix that. Well, thanks for watching one of my videos, and I hope that you watch some more and they're of value. Have a great day.